Hello, my friends. It's Emmy. This is the channel Frugal Money Saver. Yay, you're back. It's so good to see you. We are in a Arctic blast. We have been for the last week or so, and they say it's going to go on for another week. Our temps during the day are in the 20s. At night, they're in the single digits. It has been so cold. But you know what? Spring is coming, right? And you people who live in the South, just push that warm air up here, please. We're doing well, and I hope you are all safe, warm, and doing beautifully. Today's video, I want to share with you 10 things we buy and 10 things we don't buy, but each one correlates to the other, and you'll understand exactly what I'm saying when I go into the list. But stick around because it's really eye-opening. So many times in the frugal lifestyle, we think it has to be all or nothing, and that's not true. And I'm going to show you that today, how you don't have to live a life of deprivation. Cut corner here, cut a corner there, and you still end up with the same wonderful, abundant life. So if this sounds good to you, stick around. My husband, Paul, and I are an early retirement couple. We live in the state of New York, which is, I think, the third most expensive state in America. I think California and Hawaii beat us. And we show you how we do it. Less money, but more abundantly. So I hope this sounds good to you. So let's get right to this. What I had said to you was that it's all or nothing so many times in the frugal lifestyle. You hear people sometimes say, well, you're frugal. That must mean you're cheap. You don't spend money on anything. What are you saving all this money for? What do you do with your money? And I do get emails like that. Well, you're saving all this money. What are you doing with it? Well, we pay bills with it first and foremost, but what I want to show you is how we do swap one thing out for another. So let's get to number one. We will not pay for cable. Paul and I will not pay for cable. I believe it's overpriced. I believe you have to have channels that you don't want. You have to pay for every piece of equipment that they let you borrow. You have to pay for your cloud storage, for your DVR. Paul and I do not feel that that is anywhere that we want our money to go to anymore. So no, we don't have cable. And I know some people cut cable and cut cable. All they have is an antenna. But Paul and I, we're not there. We're not. But what we do allow ourselves to spend on is Philo. This is not a promotional video, nothing like that. I have spoke about this once before. We get about 64 channels for $20 a month and unlimited DVR. Okay, this is just, to me, I'm swapping out $130 cable for 64 channels of really good TV, Hallmark, AMC, Paramount. I mean, these are good channels for $20 a month. There's no comparison, none. So while we have cut cable, we are not ready to just go only for the antenna. We've opted to spend less money, but still have great quality TV. So there are so many options out there. Just because you cut cable doesn't mean you don't have any TV at all. So always look at your options for that. Number two, I will not go for a manicure. I won't. Not anymore. I do them home and I save a ton of money because that's something I always did. I always went and got gel manicures, and then my niece was kind enough to show me how easy it was to buy the machine and do my own. But I will 2 or 3 times a summer, being honest here, it's not always all or nothing. I will go for a pedicure. About the beginning of the summer and midsummer, I will go for a pedicure. Why? Because I think they can do a 10 times better job than I ever could, number one. And number two, it lasts. When they give me a pedicure, it lasts. So now some people may say that's an absolute waste of money, but to us, I'd rather give up my every other week manicure and just stick with the twice or 3 times a year pedicure. So that's number 2. Number 3, we do not buy anything because of a designer label. You will never see Paul and I going into a high-end store to buy a designer label, whether it be clothing, accessories, shoes, whatever. We are not brand loyal when it comes to things like that. But if we see that label in a thrift store, now we're not adverse to that label. Maybe it's an amazing quality item and that label goes with a really good product, and we see it in a thrift store for a quarter or an eighth of the price, well, we have no problem buying it then. So it's not that we are adverse, like you can't have designer items, but I would never go forward buying a designer item just because it was a designer item. Number 4, you'll never ever find us buying lottery tickets. Paul and I do not buy lottery tickets. I know a lot of people do. To us, honestly, every time I say this to my husband, why don't we buy lottery tickets, Paul? What are our chances?
You got a better chance getting hit by lightning. You do win the big one. You might get $10 here, $25 there.
And we don't do that. But we will buy a raffle ticket if the cause is something we believe in. We will not buy lottery, but if someone is selling a raffle ticket and we believe in the cause and we know the percentage of money that is going towards that cause, then yes, we will buy raffle tickets. No hesitation. Number 5, we don't spend money frivolously. We live the way we do so we can save our money for a purpose. So when we live frugally, we are saving for a purpose. So we don't spend money frivolously, but we will spend money on a vacation. Again, some people may look at this and say, well, that is frivolous money. But to us, the money we have saved, we are saving it for a purpose. Remember that. I tell you that all the time with frugality. The money you are saving is because you are choosing to spend your money somewhere else. So no, we don't spend frivolous. We don't hither yonder just buying stuff to buy stuff, but we will take money and go on a nice vacation. Absolutely. Number 6, we don't ever spend a lot of money eating out at fancy restaurants. Ever. We just don't. It just seems like a lot of money once you add it up with your drinks and the tax and everything. It just, to us, does not make sense to eat out and spend big bucks. But we will spend money on high quality items to cook at home. We have no problem doing that. We have no problem buying an expensive cut of meat or produce that's really good or fancy cheese or something like that for a special occasion. I'd rather buy it out. You will never see us spend extra money in a restaurant. That's just not something we will do. Number 7, we will never ever buy an item just because it's on sale. I see so many people, oh, this was such a great deal, I had to buy it. And they never use it. They stick it in the back of their closet or in a garage or wherever it is, and they never use it. You will never ever see us buying something just because it's on sale. But if we do have to buy something, it will always be on sale. Do you get that? We won't buy something just because it's a great deal, but if we do need something, then we will shop around and make sure it is on sale. We've done our research on that product and we are getting the best deal we possibly can. That's how we should be shopping. Just because you see that red sale sign or those clearance racks, oh, but it's 75% off and it's a dress you'll never wear or a pair of shoes that you'll never wear or some tool that goes in your garage, that's mindless spending. That's mindless spending. You're spending just because it's a good deal. Now, if you need an item, that's different. Then you go, you search out the best price, and you only buy it if it is on sale. Number 8, we will never pay the minimum balance on our monthly credit card bill. But we will use credit cards that either give us cash back or, in our case, Disney dollars, and pay it off in full. So yes, we do use a credit card, absolutely. When we buy our food or we make a major purchase, we know that that credit card will be paid off in full at the end of the month. There is no minimum payments for us. There's no partial payments for us. That is how we use our credit card. Some people don't use them at all. We do use them, but you will never ever catch us paying any kind of interest. If you don't have the money to pay the bill in full at the end of the month, please don't buy it. Number 9. Now, please, this is not to step on anyone's toes. I know a lot of people do this, but one thing Paul and I would never do is dumpster dive. We just wouldn't. But that's just not who we are. We just wouldn't save money that way. But we have no problem if a friend calls, hey, my friend is throwing out an item, and I know they're going to be putting it by the curb, so do you want to take a look at it and see if you'd like it? And we have done that. Point in case, 2 items, 2 beautiful items in our home were acquired that way. A friend called, said, this item is outside. Is this something you'd be interested in? She lives in a beautiful neighborhood. And I'm going to show you pictures of both. One is a ceramic plant stand that is in our living room, and I'm going to show you a picture in a second. It's lovely. It was brand new. Whoever bought it obviously didn't like it for whatever. And another is a beautiful, beautiful bench that Paul and I redid. Just gorgeous. And I mean, it wasn't gorgeous the way we found it, but we redid it. We saw the potential in it, and now it sits in our computer room, and it is one of our favorite items. Here are both of those items. One item is more beautiful than the other. This was pre-COVID, though. I do have to say that this was pre-COVID. We wiped it down with Lysol wipes, and it was absolutely beautiful, the planter. And the bench, well, you saw I gave you a couple shots. What we did was we sanded it, we took the seat off, and we repainted it white. And it's just beautiful. I love it. So no, we would never go to the extent of diving in a dumpster. But if someone called and said, there's an item and it's going to be thrown away, are you interested in it? We have no problem with that. Number 10. This is one that has a lot to do, I think, with just, for us, principle. And actually, it's me even more so than Paul on this one, because the kitchen is my area. I have a smartphone. And I have no problem having a smartphone. I love my phone. I use my phone. We have a great plan for $50 a month. But I do have a problem. And this is not even financial. This is more just who I am. So that's what's so neat about frugality. It's such an individualized plan. Your frugal journey is your journey. This is not so much a financial aspect of why I'm choosing to do one and not the other, but it's just something that I believe in and I feel. So yes, I do have a smartphone, but I have no dishwasher and I have no microwave. I mean, I'm probably one of the few people that, let me know, do any of you not have a dishwasher or a microwave? I'm like this, living in this, 1950s bubble. But to me, I don't mind washing dishes. Yes, when we had big parties and things like that, Paul will help me, and yes, it can be a little overwhelming. I just have never wanted a dishwasher. My mom lived to 89 years old. The woman never had a dishwasher in her life, and she just passed in 2017. So it's not like this was, in the Great Depression. She never had a dishwasher. And to me, it's one of those basic skills that I'm not ready to give up yet. I don't mind washing dishes, just like I don't mind hanging my clothes on the line. To me, that is what I do. And as far as a microwave, I have no use for it. I cannot think of one thing I would cook in a microwave. And people say, oh, but you can reheat. Well, I have a stove and an oven and an air fryer to reheat. So that, it just is not me. I just think that is something that's in me. We all pick and choose. And like I said, I have an iPhone, but I don't want a microwave or a dishwasher. So I hope this was helpful in showing that it doesn't have to be all or nothing. Your frugal journey is your frugal journey. Don't let people tell you otherwise. Well, why aren't you spending money on that? Or why are you spending money on that? Or how could you not buy that? Listen, take a deep breath. It's your money. You choose. You know, it's so funny. I will not get a manicure, but I will get 3 pedicures a year. To me, that is where I want to spend that money. And no, we will not go to a restaurant and drop a ton of money, but I will buy high quality items for a special occasion to cook at home. So it's a trade-off. This is how it works for us. But this is a personal journey, and no one can tell us how to live it. We are choosing where our money goes. And I've said this, this is the basis for my channel. This is the basis. We do not need to keep up with anyone, ever. You don't. It's what works for you. This is not a life of total deprivation. What we do is try to find ways that are less expensive, but still give us that same beautiful enhancement and quality and abundance in our lives. So I hope this was encouraging. Paul and I had a great time putting it together. We really did. And these were some fun things that we realized, well, we'll spend this, but we won't spend that. And you come up with your own list. I wish you a very happy Valentine's Day. It's this Sunday. Remember those who may not have a significant other at this time to spend the holiday with. Give them a call, put a card in the mail, even if you text them, whatever. Let them know you're thinking of them, please. And by all means, thank you again for watching the ads. Please keep clicking on those ads. It helps so much. We love spending this time with you, and we wish you a blessed, beautiful Valentine weekend. Stay well, stay safe, stay warm, and remember, we love you and we wish you blessings. Until our next video, bye-bye. If you don't have the money to pay the bill, Paul chips in, and, you know, Paul will help me and